The chick old Korean thing. We can't really buy that. Yes.
Right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Swaffham Town Council. A special welcome to Bob, our new councillor. Welcome. Hope you enjoy being with us. And
Thanks.
good answer. Right. The fire drill. I think there are some people here who haven't been here before. Please note that there's no planned fire drill. So, but if there is, it's the real thing. If it does go off, should the alarm go off, please leave the building by the exit here and don't use the lift. If you need any help, can you please indicate that you will need help?
I'm okay.
You're okay. Okay. Right. So everybody should be right to leave by the normal routes. Right. We start off tonight with a prayer. I'll ask Lindsay, read the prayer.
Thank you, God, for your amazing power and work in our lives. Thank you for your goodness and for your blessings over us. Thank you that you're able to bring hope even through the toughest of times, strengthening us for your purposes. Forgive us for when we don't thank you enough for who you are, for all that you do, and for all that you have given. Help us set our eyes and our hearts on you again, renew our spirits, fill us with your peace and joy. We give you thanks and praise, for you alone are worthy. In Jesus' name, amen.
Next item is an apologies for absent. We've got
Caroline here.
Caroline. Everybody else is here, I think. We received a signed declaration of office from Robert. So,
I can confirm I've received that and it's been signed.
okay, so we move on. We received declarations of interest for anything on the agenda.
Yeah.
Wendy.
My nephew put a quote in for the barn roof.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I typed one of the other ones. Because the boat can't do it.
You understand what he means.
I literally typed it. I think there's anything to do with it, but
Okay. Nobody else? You see the agreed minutes of the ordinary meeting held on the 12th of February. Question or
no, well, I agree with it.
all those favour say aye. Or quick show please. Do it no.
I wasn't there.
Oh, well, you still agree.
I can't if I don't know what was
I
happening.
listened to it. I wasn't here.
I came in towards the end, so I can't.
Okay, so we say
We got 3 abstain because Robert wasn't here either. So
yeah.
3
Yeah.
abstain. 3 abstain.
Received reports from Norfolk County Council. William's not here. Have we had a report?
No, we haven't received anything. No. Sorry.
Breckland councillors, we've had reports from both of those. Anything you would like to add?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Just a few bullet points on the local plan. As you know, it's paused. It is no longer paused. It's now back live. Breckland is mandated by the government now to provide 903 dwellings per annum. That is an increase of 45% over the previous figure. Cabinet approved the plan timetable on March the 3rd. The likely adoption of the plan will be 2027. Breckland will be arranging sessions for parishes, that includes town councils, obviously, to meet with officers and members to discuss possible sites within their parish and obviously try and get these numbers. Consultation responses submitted in relation to previous Regulation 18 have been collated and will feed through into the new draft regulation. So there's just a few bullet points on the local plan, but obviously there will be meetings arranged and more to follow. Just a further update, because I know everybody is so interested in the Old Hammond School and the fact that it's moving forward. And there has been a submitted application by the agent in the last week for the discharge of the condition. So things are moving forward. Thank you.
Good. So would something be happening? I've got a couple of questions, but should I go first I'm gonna, okay,
Yeah.
yours first. Sorry, Jacob. Yeah.
I just thought I'd give an update on local government reorganisation. I think I mentioned in my report that Breckland has got an extraordinary meeting next week. So we're going to be looking at a report that's been done in partnership with some other councils in Norfolk. So first of all, in that report, it sets out that Breckland isn't supportive of the government's approach to local government organisation. Because of the disruption to businesses, residents, and the likely increase in Breckland residents' council tax as a result of it. But if reorganisation does go ahead, then we are proposing to have 3 unitary councils for Norfolk. They would be a Greater Norwich Unitary Council, a Breckland and West Norfolk Unitary Council, which would also include some parts of North Norfolk, and a Great Yarmouth and South Norfolk Unitary Council. The West Norfolk and Breckland Unitary would have an estimated 48 councillors in total. So that was the chosen option. The other 2 options were a single unitary council for Norfolk, and the other was 2 unitary councils, East and West split. But the independent report that was done found that the 3 unitary councils would be the best in terms of having local representation and making sure that decisions made as locally as possible, but also meeting the government's criteria in terms of how big they need to be and achieving efficiencies. So the reorganisation costs are estimated to be 14.5 million. When you include implementation, and there'll be further public consultation before it's finalised. Government's final decision is expected early next year, and new unitary councils will probably be established by April, May 2028, but there'll probably be elections for those authorities the year before, and there'll be a transition year before. So just an update on.
Thank you. I'll let you go first. Go.
Yeah, I just want to ask a question to Judy. With this increase in housing allocation, do we know at this stage which towns are going to be greatly affected by the increase?
The 903 really takes literally across the board, the same as last year with the 6612, I think it was. It's when we originally done the figures before we got hit with the 903. That was done in the same manner. So it's taken, I think, Swaffham got 420, something like that. And it equals itself out over the other towns as well. So I guess this has gone not to be dissimilar, because obviously there is a list of call for sites. And if you recall back, I think 2022, that came out 22, 23. The call for sites for Swaffham alone would, if they all got built in tomorrow, there would be 3,000 houses. So that's not the fact that there aren't people wanting to develop, because there are. But somebody did say to me on planning yesterday, it's all a bit of a jumble really, because to hit the 903, you still have to have builders to build the houses, and you have to have people to buy the houses. But that is a big figure, 45% increase, which is why they're going to have lots of meetings with towns and parishes to discuss from the list of call for sites what you would consider would be practical to do for each town and parish.
Thank you.
Right.
Can I just come back to Judy and that? Judy, is it my imagination? Am I wrong? But Swaffham always seems to get a disproportionate amount of this 600 or 900 houses.
I don't think so, Graham.
No?
I think if you take Attleborough, for instance, they had 5,000 as part of their development there. No, I don't think it's disproportionate at all. That it really is evened out, but there are figures available that if you want, I can hunt around and send over. But no, it's not. They don't pick on a turn and say, well, right, it's your turn this year. Well, you've got to build 2,000. No, it's quite equilateral.
And as well as all these, these lots of different potential sites, the council's also looking at big strategic sites where very large numbers of houses go.
Yeah, Robertson's Barracks is one.
Who?
Robertson's Barracks at Swaffham and Morley.
Oh, right. Oh, good.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
So,
Judy, you referred to them as they will come round to discuss the future 900 houses or positionings. Who are they?
What they mean in Breckland, planning department, local plan. So you will be contacted, your clerk will be contacted, obviously, to arrange meetings to discuss what you feel about the house allocation and where you think from the call for sites would be appropriate to contact the developer and say, do you want to build?
Without going too deeply into it, right? Breckland possibly, due to this new idea, going and disappear. Yes, we'll get two-tier thing.
Yeah.
And that is quite imminent, isn't it?
Well, 2028 will go live.
Yeah,
I see where you're coming from. I'm ahead of you, Sturt.
thank you.
Somebody did ask that yesterday. But in the meantime, you still, which is why I read a bit about local plan, everything seems to have sort of, been thrown out as in one fell swoop. So you've got the local plan on one side, which is where the 903 have coming from, for housing allocation. So that still has a plan for the area, never mind what area that is. And stick to your next question, if and when there is a unitary authority, say 3 have joined together, they will amalgamate all these things because everybody's got a local plan in different districts. So the whole thing will somehow or other merge together.
And of course, there'll be a role for the mayor of Norfolk and Suffolk in terms of
Oh, yes.
planning.
Thank you.
So yeah, it's a bit of a
It's a mess.
double whammy at the moment, isn't it?
You know, it's just a government mess, to be truthful. But thank you.
I think it's an example of where they're doing this reorganisation without looking at the underlying problems. But behind it, I mean, if you look at one of the huge issues in local government finance is the huge cost of health and social care.
Yeah.
Yet the government are doing a review into social care that's not going to be published until after local government reorganisation.
Mm.
You would think that you should deal with those underlying problems first before looking at structure.
That wouldn't be a government, would it? Thank you.
anybody else got any questions? I've got 2 I'd like to ask, but no, yeah. First one to Judy. The local plan, I've pushed the different things I've been at for some land to be put forward for industrial unit within the town.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they've considered that, but I'm strong on that. Now we've lost what used to be the Sequel Arts place that's going to, we think it'd probably be a supermarket, which is a 90% certainty, I think. But, we do need some land put aside in this town for industrial units, keep the people employed in the town rather than it being a dormitory town.
Totally agree, Paul.
So can you push that as much as you can, please, for us?
Will do.
My second one, and I talked to Sam about this as well, is the fact that if all this unitary and all these different other councils do evolve, what's going to happen to all the assets that Breckland have got, like all the industrial units and the things in Swaffham that they've got in Swaffham alone? I know they've got them in other towns as well, but what happens, because the people of this district have paid for those units over the years to get the units. So what happens, are they just going to go into a big mass general pot?
I think there'll be a balance to be struck in terms of Breckland's in a better position than many other local councils.
Yeah.
We've got the lowest district council tax than compared to other authorities. So, why should we then have to compensate other councils that we want to partner up with? At the same time, it would be irresponsible to drain all our assets. So I think there'll be a balance, and I think the more certainty we get over what's going to happen, the more those sort
I
of plans to
I
be.
think this needs pushing because we as taxpayers have paid for them units over the years, and it'd be bad that if they go into a general pot and the ratepayers, and obviously they will level up the council tax across the levels. And Breckland's are one of the lowest going. You know, it's going to be a free for all. Do we want to be paying for like what Norwich are paying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there was a desktop exercise that estimated that Breckland residents could end up with up to 40% increase in their council tax as a result of reorganisation.
Graham East and then John.
That's just an observation that, for good or bad, I remember when we lost our status as an urban district council, we also lost all our housing stock.
Yes.
That all went into the national pool, didn't it?
Mm.
So anything is possible.
I would say it's a shame councillor Nunn wasn't here, because do the county council have a different view of this reorganisation,
Well,
as far as you know?
well, it was the county council that had the power to postpone their own elections, but it was also the county council that had the sole power to apply to the priority list of devolution. The district and boroughs had no formal role in that process at all.
They put it forward. We
And
didn't.
of course, no election in May, where it could have been an issue, couldn't it?
Well, that's, you know,
They're good.
we didn't have a say in that.
Okay, thank you very much for that, Breckland Council, for answering the questions, and thanks everyone. We move on to the police. I don't suppose we've got a police report. No, no, pass that one by then. We're going to the public open forum for, it's a 15-minute session, so.
Just explain to Bob about the police
Yeah.
thing. We don't never get them any.
No, we asked for them. We have to have it on the agenda.
Sorry.
We don't get representative and we don't get a report very often, very rarely. We normally come to the annual meeting, that's about it.
Sorry. The public open forum, would any members of the public like to say or ask any questions?
Yes, I would.
Monica?
Yeah. Most of you know me. My name is Monica Regal-Reid. We had this voting come through for the 3 new councillors, what put their name forward. And obviously Bob got in. And I'd like to ask Bob what he can give to the Swaffham people.
Like ask me? Well, I've retired from my job, so I've got plenty of spare time on my hands. So I thought I'd put it to good use and do
Sounds-
the community.
Sounds good to me, but what was your working career, if I may ask?
My working career? Well, I've done many things. You know, I've done well. We probably wouldn't have time if I went for all of them. But my last job was a transport manager for North Commercial Services. We ran the park and ride system in Norwich until they lost the contracts with to Connect Bus.
Yeah.
At the time, but now I'm just doing a bit of part-time minibus work.
And I understand all 3 of you live in Swaffham, so you obviously live in Swaffham.
Yeah, I do live in Swaffham.
And
I'll keep my address private if you don't mind.
yes, that's fine.
I don't want any fans.
But no, I enjoy history, and I have done history on Norfolk families. And Cousins is a Norfolk family name.
With his head, don't forget with his head.
Yeah. Through Cousins Hardy, Mary Hardy was the big diarist in Leathering-Set. And so that was the sole reason why my husband and I voted for you,
I'm afraid we're kind of.
because it's a Norfolk name.
I'm sure you'll have a talk with Bob later.
Yeah.
So,
The surname comes from Shoulden.
oh,
That's where the Cousins name comes from. Well, it probably comes from the Romans, or something else. But,
because they did the, not the watermill, the brewery at Leathering-Set.
all right then.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Monica.
Anyway, thanks for your vote. Anyway,
we've got a statement about the elections. You,
Well,
is there any other members of the public who want to? Yes, of course you can. Please state your name.
I would like to ask the council, what is the update on the play path over the wreck, please? And when will it be started? When will the work be started?
We are waiting for Breckland to finish off the 106 degree Crocus Homes. As soon as that's finished, we should have the money from Crocus Homes, and then hopefully we'll be able to start. We'll go out to tender.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Jen Banda, one of the other three candidates.
Right.
So we're in the, Bob, first of all, congratulations. I'd say a well run, but there wasn't apparently anything out there. So, but my point is to the mayor. So we know about the whole situation with the election and the polling cards, and fully understands the principle behind money, finances, etc. However, within the town itself, there was so many people that were quite disgruntled by the fact, well, almost 7,000 people, that they didn't receive polling cards. Now, with that, it's not so much that it affected the election. I was at the count, but got the majority of the votes at the count. So right there, won fairly and squarely. But with the statement or the notice of election that was going out, I wondered why there wasn't just a small 2-3 sentence notification that went out with it to say why we weren't sending out the polling cards. Because I think the town itself.
Breckland give us the notice of election. That's legal, and that's what we put out.
Yeah, and I understand that part, but it was actually Swaffham Town Council that made the decision not to have the polling cards. And so for that, to kind of mitigate the fallout that has happened since.
A finance meeting, it went out on the agenda, it goes out in a minute.
Not a lot of people have access to that.
That's to be fair, I know you said there's 7,000 people. I received 3 emails complaining, which I then spoke to the people, explained the process, and they were quite happy because they didn't realise. They thought we had to put out polling cards, which we don't. It's not a parliamentary.
That's a few people.
But I've been involved with.
My question is why there wasn't a small statement go out, because I think
It's not allowed.
the whole fallout. You're saying Breckland has told you point blank that there shouldn't be any other statement.
Can I just make a statement?
No.
But there's one thing. Usually, when there's an election, all the candidates, I've been involved in God knows how many elections over the course of the time I've been involved with council. We all go out, and every one of us, and I think everybody around this table, when they were elected, send out their own information sheet, which gives a bit of information about them, and it usually has the date of the election on. This time, not one of the 3 candidates sent out any information.
I beg to differ. I was the only candidate that put any information out there about herself.
Yeah.
I was the only candidate.
Only on social media.
Now, I apologised openly for not taking into account those that didn't have social media. I apologise for that. All I'm saying is to mitigate the fallout that came from the voting cards not going out, all it would have taken was a couple of sentences from the town council to state why, because I'm sure Swaffham would have understood the precepts behind everything that went forward before the election. The decision was made. The decision was made 9 days before the election notice went out.
But not one of the candidates come into the town hall and asked us to, or give us any information on themselves, because the majority of us didn't even know who they were.
To be honest, we did have a few people come in and asked about the candidates, and we're obviously not allowed to go out and about. All I have is the addresses and the names. The names were out. I'm not allowed to give out any other information.
And so the point that nobody put anything out there, I absolutely did. I've been ripped ragged throughout this whole thing over the last several weeks by some councillors as well, I might add. And I'm furious because you're sitting there saying that there was no information when there was. This is purely about the fact that a few sentences could have mitigated the fallout from voting cards not going out there to the majority. That's all.
Why did the three of you put out information yourself? Because that is the way it's normally done on your leaflet. And you put them through the doors or whatever.
Could you put a question to Mr. Cousins?
I'll put it to all three of you.
Because I think it's only fair that the question goes to Mr. Cousins as well as to why he said information wasn't out there.
I don't know.
Well,
I'm saying all three candidates.
Things on social media.
I'm not picking anyone out. I'm just picking all three out.
No, and I apologise for not going that far on it.
Yeah.
There is enough.
I think we need to move on. It is what it is.
Voting card.
Yeah. So, is there anybody else in the public? We've got
63.
anybody else from the public? Sorry, can you? Anybody else from the public like to say? No? Okay, we close, go back into session then. Mayor's report. Oh, got it here somewhere. Don't go away.
It's moved on, it's got flustered. Oh. Don't want the matter replied.
We didn't.
They could reply, sorry.
Stuart can say something.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, before you moved on. Please.
Sorry, I didn't see you put your hand up.
I did, but you was flustered.
I was away.
Right. Stuart Bell,
I know, Stuart.
you know me. Yeah, right. You put information out, mostly on social media, I
Yep.
believe. Yeah. What about for people like me?
And as I said,
social media.
as I said, that was remiss of me for doing that. I put out an apology to say that I was sorry that I did not put out more information for those that weren't on social media. But again, I will reiterate, I was the only candidate that was willing to put anything out there and apologise for my mistakes in missing out other people.
But if you sit through this meeting and probably the finance meeting, you'll understand the pressure that this council is on. We're not spending money, and to polling cards and all that, they cost thousands, and it's not fair for us to spend people's money on people who wish to become a
And again, if you listen to what I was saying, I said I fully understand what the finance situation is with the council and the fact that a decision was made not to send out polling cards. However, it was made 9 days before the election notice went out, and therefore it would have mitigated a bigger problem with the fallout from Swaffham on receiving no polling cards if the council had sent out just a small notice stating that polling cards weren't going to be sent out because of the finance situation, and I'm sure you would have had more people understand where it was coming from. But to be there blanket silence on it all and not even inform the candidates that no voting cards were going out, because none of the candidates were
You don't
notified.
have your details. I didn't know who Bob was until he came in.
Yes, but that's what I'm saying. But you knew I was standing there.
Yeah, but that's not up for us to do.
No, but that's what I'm
Election is run
saying.
by Brett.
There is a real
If I
disconnect.
contact you, I'm favouring you, so I couldn't.
No, but there is a real
people.
disconnect between what Swaffham's saying and what Breckland's saying, because Swaffham is saying this is fully Breckland's fault.
No, we never said that.
You did say that in your press release.
No, we didn't. No way was that said.
It comes across as very anti-Breckland.
Was done. No, because I went through that with Breckland before we went out, so.
Well, it was, the fact is that Swaffham could have mitigated the fallout by just putting 2 or 3 sentences out there to explain why voting cards were not.
Why should we as a council spend council money and
You
council
are
time?
responsible for the people
No,
of this town.
no, sorry, you're wrong.
Okay, okay.
You can move on to the ladies' couple.
Yeah.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Sorry,
Your report.
my report, right. We went to the very nice do at the King's Limbar and then had to go on the Dodgems and that sort of thing. And the Showman's Guild, thanks Stuart for your going there, and that was really interesting.
You enjoyed the meal, Paul?
Oh, yes, we
Good.
definitely
That's
enjoyed
the main
it,
thing.
yes.
Even better.
And we went to I went on Sunday to Betty Nye, who's Karen, I think most of them know Karen Nye, mother. She was 100 on Sunday, and I went and presented a card to her, and I also presented the card from the King to her as well. And she was really chuffed with that, and she's very active lady at 100. So I think she'll go on to 120. I think. But anyway, it was very nice. That's all I've done this month, function wise. You now go on town clerk report.
Okay, so staffing update. This week we welcome Thomas Howlett to the grounds team as Jerry's replacement when he retires. The Escape project has offered the town council a place on a City and Guilds Level 2 certificate in practical horticulture. This course is on a Wednesday for 5 hours and has no cost to the council. After consultation with Graham West, our manager, it was decided that Thomas should attend this course. Thomas will work alongside Kevin to move forward with the polytunnel that the Escape project has let us have to propagate their own plants for the floral displays in the town. Helsden Parish Council are running a Lantra course on ride-on mowers and pedestrian mowers, which Ryan will attend. Good news on the parish partnerships. Although I've not had confirmation by email from Norfolk County Council, they did publish in the EDP the successful grant applications, and both grants that we applied for have been approved for funding. The grants were for the replacement of the camping land fencing and the safety signs outside Hartwood Primary School.
Good. Any questions for the clerk? No. Move on. Receive and consider any urgent, late or any urgent. We've got 2 items on the agenda of late items.
So this week we should adopt phases 4 and 5 of Swan's Nest, which will give us 204,106 money, which you all know can only be spent on Swan's Nest. So I've asked TTRS, who does our grass cutting, to quote for the extra 4 and 5 phases, and that's the quote that I've given to you today. It's just to agree that quote. This money that comes out of the 204,000. So once that runs out, then we have to pay. But he's quoted about 5,500 each year.
40 years then.
So we're happy to
accept. Any comments? Anybody would like to? Would somebody like to move the acceptance of the quote? Yeah. Graham and Graham. All those in favour, just show. Great. Next one then.
The other one is the barn. We had the quotes in a bit late, so they couldn't go on the agenda, so I put it on as a late item. So I think you've all seen the 3 quotes.
Can I just ask one thing about Bensley's quote? I think that's for 9,700 and something. But did that include, or was the contingency sum to be added to that? I read it that has got to be added to it, but it hasn't been included in the summary.
Graham West said to me that he was happy with all 3 quotes, and Darren's was the one that actually fitted your is the only one that fitted actually to the date, to the letter of your what did you put in? Spec.
Well, Bales must have done, because I cut and pasted the days. So that must have
said, yeah.
But no, it was only a minor amount. It doesn't make any difference to who's cheapest.
No,
but I've got a feeling that 9.7 should have the contingency sum added to it. I think it was 9.7 plus the contingency sum.
Yeah,
but you've stated, but you've stated it as the basic, not the increased price.
10% contingency sum of 941 will be added with the authority of the town council if required.
But therefore his quote is 10.3, not
10.3 then.
That's what I mean. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It don't matter, but just about getting it right, John.
Yeah, the one that I can't remember his name. 13,750.
That's not Baines.
That does include the 10%.
Yeah.
Yes.
It does.
Yeah.
Did I miss that?
Sorry.
I'm partially deaf.
Oh right. Sorry.
Yeah. So it's really a case of do we want to go ahead with it and step one of the quotes? Sorry, Stuart, did you want to say something before?
Yes. Once again, the barn that's cost this time circa £600,000. Quite a lot of money in the scale of things. we have the tenant that, which is good. Except for the tenant at the minute is paying semi-peppercorn rent. So it would take us 2 years of not using their rent for anything else to pay for yet another piece of this barn. So I personally think that until you get a tenant in there who's actually paying a serious rent, that we don't spend any more money on it.
So next month I will write to the Fountain of Life because they've got 6 months left on their lease, and I will ask them for an update on what they're delivering, their numbers and figures, and what their plans are for the next after the 6 months is up.
So, go.
Can I just come back?
Yeah.
This is the same old play we keep having. But it's originally we got the down that we were going to do what the Fountain of Life in inverted commas are doing. We failed in 4 years to do it. These people are now doing it, and we get £5,000, which is chicken feed, quite frankly. But what would we have got if we'd have done it? We'd have got absolutely nothing. We wouldn't even have got the 5,000. So this argument keeps going round and round with me and Sturt in circles.
Yeah.
He wants more money. And my argument is that if they're producing what the town wanted to produce when the town councillors agreed to buy the barn, that is it.
Yeah, just before you come in, Dave, we are responsible for the upkeep of that
Yeah.
building, and this is to make this building sound and
Yes.
And
proof.
it is a capital payment.
Yeah,
So
you can
we
be
have to
sure.
do it, Paul, because otherwise
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
So that is
just
sorry, David.
sorry.
Well, I was just to say, obviously, it's the roof of the building. If you don't maintain the roof or make it better than it is already stacked in its leaking position, then it's just going to dilapidate the building even more, which is just making the build look bigger down the line. So it's fallacy to not sort the roof out.
I think it's sort of a necessity yourself.
Yeah, it's-
Just added that.
John.
The specification, is that the one that you drew up, Craig?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's only Mr. Bain fully repeated your specification and priced it.
Yes.
The others didn't.
No.
Have departed from it.
Yeah.
Are you happy with the way they depart from your specification?
The only thing was with the one from Bensley is that he specifically excluded the fascias and gutters and things that Bain has included.
Right.
Decorating, repairing and such like. And I mean, I stand to be correct if anyone else has read it differently. But Bensley excluded all that. He has a few exclusions in his quote that the other chap has got in. That's all.
Jill.
Going back to Stuart, the barn was bought as an asset for community use. It was never meant to be a money-making project, providing it paid its way, and it probably eventually will pay its way. But that is just to kind of, well, I think try and put you right, that it was bought for the community that is needed in the community. I mean, we're having all these new houses and everything, no proper community centre or anything for people to go.
I think we are where we are with it, with that. And just to say that I think one of the things is we've got to look at it. And if one, but I think the one that was quoted with doing some of the drain pipes and the fascias and that sort of thing, it's best to get it all done at once, because we don't want to have all that done and then have to do it all again with another set of scaffolding and God knows what else. But
Sorry, Paul, the only problem is then you'd have to go back, Ainsley, and ask him to include those items that he has excluded. And at that point, I think you'll find that'll be pretty much, those two will be pretty much identical. So how are we going to resolve it?
I don't know.
Because this is another meeting now where we haven't dealt with it.
But I would say that is important. It
is important.
We do include that in, because otherwise you're going to have another set of scaffolding going up and another lot of God knows what else to do that at a later stage.
Yeah.
I would say let's do it all in one foul swoop.
Then you need to get that quote updated.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, our finance meeting's tomorrow, so.
Well, it's only a group one. That's not for.
No, you know what I'm saying. So we can't do it tomorrow anyway.
You would have to go to either whichever.
Did you have that in the spec, Graham?
Yeah, everything.
Well, then I think they haven't met the specs. I think the one who has, I think you have,
Well, I've got an
You don't
interest.
have to have three, remember, you've asked them.
I would go with my, that's up to you. I've got an interest in it, so hang on.
Yeah, I'm not.
So
built-
Graham asked Wendy declaring an interest.
Yeah.
Yeah, fine. Yeah.
Only in the fact that I typed it for him, I've got no interest in it beyond that.
Did Hannah say that Graham was happy? Because he's obviously,
Graham was happy, also, yeah.
Graham.
I'm having a hand up. We've had 5 other people chip in.
Sorry,
Are you actually looking at me now then?
no, I tried to avoid it.
To answer Jill and Graham. Firstly, I quite agree we bought it as a community hub. Yes, break even eventually. Well, at the minute, the break even is approximately 150 years time. Now that, to my mind, and anyone who has any inkling about finance, that's not a great deal, is it? And so what, until we know we've actually got a tenant who's staying, which maybe not for another 6 months, after the clerk has had the meeting with the Fountain of Life and has some assurances that they are staying or not, then, and a rent increase possibly, then we can actually decide if we want to chuck another 10 to 15,000 pound at the building.
But I'd like to move that we accept the one was doing the drain pipes and the fascias and that, and I forget what his name with Bain. And we do that because we are where we are with the barn. We've got the barn, it's our property, and we've got to look after that property. We don't want that declining, and as if you go into the Fountain of Life, he will tell you it does leak in certain places in that inside anyway. So it needs.
Are
Sorry,
you proposing that?
I'm proposing that we go with the one with the fascias and the does the drain pipe all in one fell swoop. I think it was about 13,
Which is RT Bain roofing.
which is about 13,000, wasn't it?
It's 11.
11. Yeah. Well,
His letter says 13,750.
yeah. I thought it was 13, something like that.
That's including VAT though, you have to exclude the VAT.
Hang on,
Yeah.
hang on, no, you don't. You don't, because he's not registered for that. He cannot charge you. His price is that price, period.
Right.
Yeah.
So if it's not registered, it's not allowed to.
Well, he is registered, but that's a complicated story.
Yeah,
He
anyway.
will not charge you
But
that.
anyway, that doesn't reflect
It
his
does, no,
decision.
no,
Yeah, it
Paul,
does.
It does,
Yeah.
Paul. It does, because you'll pay him 13 something and you won't get any back.
It does say including any VAT, so.
It does.
It says including that.
VAT liability,
Right.
including, not extra.
No.
And this fetches to the fore my financial things, because you don't even know how much the man's going to charge you, whether you can get VAT or not.
You can't on that one then.
So how can you possibly vote on something you haven't got the full facts on? Well, we did it with the barn, and look what mistake we made with that one.
Yeah, only other thing then
And
is
don't
the-
keep saying it is what it is, because in 6 months' time, we could have Fountain of Life out, we could level it and build some houses on it.
the
And
world
let's,
could come to an end in 6 months' time. We don't know, do we? Right, do it. But I think considering what we've got to ask is check that we've got equal quotes from all of them and clear this VAT thing up and perhaps bring it back to either the next, whichever the next full council or the next finance, whichever's next.
Okay, big finance, yeah.
I think that's the only other option if you're not going to make a decision.
But get the others to price in for the.
Yeah, everybody agree that.
Yeah, it has to be perfectly clear.
Yeah.
We're actually spending our money on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All the council's money.
Sorry. Anything else?
No, that's it.
No, all good. Discuss and consider correspondence received, anything?
You've all had the correspondence. Any questions on?
I read it.
I don't know what you do with it all. I don't know how we resolve all this. There's 100, I said before the meeting, there's 130 odd pages there.
We mostly answer them all, and is there anything really that I need a decision on that?
No, I meant the pages.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
130. I'd love to go around this room and find out how many people, hand on heart, have read and studied all that, but doesn't matter.
Anyway, sorry. A question for another day.
That is cool.
Right, consider responsible and suffer devolution consultation. Last last, 13th of April. So do we want to say
I
anything?
put the link in there for you all to read. Devolution, we have put it out to the public. Breckland have given us a consultation link, which we've put out. With residents and councillors are asked to do their own consultation survey as well.
Just a question about devolution. There's two separate things in there. There's
Yes.
the
This is the one that we-
reorganisation. That's the devolution.
Yeah, this is the one that they've asked the council collective to give a response to.
Right.
So does anybody want us to give a go with the umbrella
Council.
statement, or do you want to do it individually?
Not that bothered.
Decision taken. So
Can I
oh, you this time.
Thank you. So just a quickie then, the devolution, which is whether we lose Breckland tier or what have you. Well, Breckland's now said tonight they're looking at a different option.
This is the devolution consultation from Norfolk and Suffolk. It's nothing to do with Breckland.
Right.
Breckland have also put their own out, which I've said, but this is something, have you clicked on this? It's the Norfolk.
Two separate things.
Yeah,
Yes.
this is for the mayor.
Having a mayor.
Yeah.
is-
Yeah, this is the mayor.
Because I think they're going to get a mayor, aren't they,
Yeah.
in advance of the actual devolution? I think that's what they're saying.
Next year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the one that the councils prefer.
Yes. Yeah.
Which they don't.
Yeah, them.
No, that's the local government reorganisation.
Different thing.
The devolution,
Really, it's up to you. What you want to do? Do you
reorganisation is the unitary council.
want to put in a joint response, or do you want to do it individually?
This isn't individually, this is a council.
This is a council. It's got to be a council. Apparently, I've been told.
Could be a council.
So, anybody got any suggestions for a reply?
I'd like to ask, even if we opposed it, would we carry any weight at all?
Very little.
Exactly.
Seems a fair question, Craig.
There was questions to be answered, did we?
Do we
There's quite a few.
There's quite a few questions, which is,
Could
I put the link on there for you to all have a look at.
I know you've done it already, but would it be worth putting
No, there's too many, Paul, there's loads on them.
that?
Should I go through them and I get your responses and you come, you have a look at it?
Priority 6 from
Yeah.
10.
Yeah.
That'd be the best way to do it?
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody happy with that?
Do that.
Happy with that?
Yeah.
What do you do, Alan? Do on our behalf. To consider a council vote by request for a community meeting. Go to you, David. Explain what you.
An idea whereby we somehow form a group of people that are in the town, businesses, charities, members of the public, to get together once a year for the betterment of the town, you know, exchange ideas. You know, we've got events like coming up, the car show, how we can all work together and, you know, make everything better. You know, like we're struggling for volunteers and people, you know. The Lions are doing their thing, the Rotary Club's doing their thing. We've got the VE Day coming up. No point does anyone sit together in the same room and say, we can help you do this, and we've got stuff like that, and you know, just a bit of joint up thinking.
Can I just, don't we already do that? We do that, don't we?
Well, we work with,
The end of year
we
meeting.
work with ICNI, we work with the Royal British Legion for Remembrance Day, VE Day,
Yeah.
and events. Give you an update on the car show in a minute.
We not have, sorry, the town meeting, the one.
Annual town assembly.
Annual
Town
meetings
assembly,
where
thank
we
you, that was
invite-
the word I was
Yeah.
looking for, that's what we
Yeah.
already do.
Yes.
That's where they are all invited, and sometimes we get members of the public. Recently, we get,
I think it's a great idea, but I think it's hard trying to get them all in one room.
Yes.
I think we go out to them individually and
Yeah.
for certain things, and I do
One
understand.
representative from
Yeah.
each
Yeah.
body to sit in a room and exchange some ideas.
Dave, can I just ask you, you have your meeting and here where everybody is, and all sitting around, for what purpose? What would come from it? You know, what are you going to suggest? What are you going to
Get more engagement with the local people to help out more volunteering, like your litter picking, get people involved in there.
Yeah, but being blunt about that, I mean, we do that. I don't need the Rotary Club or anybody else to get involved. All I'm saying
But
is,
there might be people that are in the Rotary Club that hadn't thought about it, but they want,
yeah,
you know.
but it works. That's the only thing I'm
You know,
not
it's
saying.
more networking, isn't it?
The only thing that worries me with all of this is you get all these people around the table. And we've got it in a way with this so-called youth project that I keep trying to push,
Yeah.
and young carers who could do with some fun sometimes when they get away from looking after their parents. And you go round and round in circles. And I've been going round in circles now for 2 or 3 months. And I can honestly say, hand on heart, that I feel I'm exactly where I started. Simply because you have the meetings, you have your discussions, then it drifts this way, then it drifts that way. I kind of don't see how that's going to focus on something specific to get things done. That's my problem.
I've got
it's an idea.
Lindsay.
Were you thinking about individual events? Or were you actually thinking about delivering?
Just trying to get delivering the whole sort of package, just improve the town generally. You know, look at the town, more tourism. You know, boost employment.
Yeah.
Over the years, there's been several different organisations, like the Chamber of Trade, and I forget some of the other organisations.
Forum was another.
We've tried this, and it's never ever worked in this town because they all like to go their individual ways, you know. And I don't know. I just don't know. It'd be lovely if it could happen, but I don't think it ever is going to happen. But Jill,
Yeah, I mean, great idea. And it used to be like that. In that, I would say, oh God, doesn't it sound the good old days? But you know, you had the Lions who were young, they were active. The Round Table, they were young, they were active. They used to put on various, events all the time. And I think that's probably what you'd like to see happen, the enthusiasm of the town. Whereas you don't feel that there's a lot of young enthusiasm. Perhaps it's because people are just working too hard or whatever. But anyway, it would be nice to try, but you've got to get the kind of the younger people there as well. You can't just rely on us.
I met a young girl today who's very interested in the youth council, which we're still trying, but she's happy to become a youth representative to the council. So she would give her views. So when we go towards the skate jam and the youth fair, this could be a start to get a bit more involved in the community side and get the younger people in as well.
But, younger people, got a lot on their plate. Their whole life is before them. Whereas you want to try and get those kind of middle lot that.
Sorry.
No. Carry on.
I have experience with what's happened to Rotary over the last few years. A membership of 35, now down to 16. And I would say only 12 of those people are healthy enough to be active. Lions have the same problems. We've lost the likes of Round Table and I think Probus, and many have all gone to the wall. And younger people don't seem to have that community affiliation somehow.
No,
it's good. It's quite grand. Something interrupting that. But to that, you could add the Swaffham Twinning Club.
Absolutely.
I mean, they packed up specifically because they said they were getting older and older. And there was nobody coming in, and they just didn't see that going anywhere.
It's very sad, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Community, very sad.
Can I just say, I think if you have a focus on what you actually want to achieve, break that down into a number of different things rather than just say tourism. If you actually think about elements within that you want to deliver, and then pull in the key stakeholders that you think will help deliver each individual section, that would work. And we found that with the Christmas group, because if you actually include the schools and the churches and various businesses and pull those in, then they've all got something to contribute, and they're all fairly positive about it. So that would be the way I would.
But your Christmas lights is a specific
Well, that's
big.
what I'm saying.
Yeah, but what Dave is, what Dave was saying is the whole width of the town. I think it's too
That's
big.
what I'm saying, that you've
You
got
need
to
a
break
plan.
it in, break it into individual sections and then focus on each one of those.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're never going to get anywhere.
We've had some really good events where the town has pulled together, like the cream tea and,
Oh, brilliant.
and some of them other big functions that have gone on in the town over the last couple of years. They have really, the town's really pulled together, and there's all different people from all different areas that come together to help put them things on. But as to getting them to join up, I don't know. I just don't know. It'd be lovely if it did happen, but I can't see.
Oh, David, to answer your question, yes, we do have a community meeting. It's called Town Assembly, and that supposedly has every representative from every community group at the meeting. When I first started, not that many years ago, but it was a big thing. There was 50, 100 people. Now you're lucky if you get two.
Yeah.
Sorry. And the next item on the agenda will probably prove that even further.
Next one, Stuart, sorry. Les. I was close. Next door.
I was going to say that I've always thought the town assembly, and I've seen quite a few of them, it might be worth looking to expand it, do it in the assembly rooms, do it all day into the evening, and invite employers in the town and groups that we know about to come along and invite all the public, not just like we do in here. We invite a few groups and actually make a bigger scale thing.
Might work.
Yeah.
I think similar sort of things have been done. I looked, Judy, there was something before, wasn't there, similar to that we've done before, didn't we?
We did do in the assembly rooms.
Yeah. But, I wouldn't say anything. If there's something you want to give it a try, sometime. I think,
So can we just rebrand the town assembly then? It would be a project to look at.
Why not? Can we?
At least we get you moving, David.
Yeah.
Yeah, annual meeting can't be before 6 o'clock. That's the only meeting that you have to have after 6 o'clock. But that comes after the town assembly.
Could we not then have a groups prior and then the meeting starting from 6?
That's your annual meeting. You
Yeah,
have your
so you could
assembly.
combine a group meeting plus then anyone wants to stay from then can stay. Yeah.
Last question, something.
Will that be okay, David?
Yeah. Anybody else? No. Let's sort that one out, or sorting it out. Receive update on car show, and I hope we got good news on
Yes,
that.
we have really good news. So Nicola and I met with the Rotary Club and it's really positive. They would love to come on board as a partner. So it will be run with them and ourselves. They've got lots of volunteers that can help us out. So we are going ahead with the car show and it's publicised as in partnership with the Rotary Club.
Really no questions to ask on that.
No, it just what the fact was the car show was so self-running, self-funding everything, and then it lost its way through volunteers, not
I
volunteers.
think the car show always made money. It didn't. I don't think it's ever run at a loss, has it?
Oh, no.
No. So it's
Great.
it's one of the events we've organised that does make a little bit of profit, which plows back into the recreation ground or goes towards help funding the next one. Discuss and consider grant applications received from Norfolk County Council Community Law Service. Sorry.
So they've asked for £2,000. We have £500 budgeted to give out to community grants.
Let's ask this question again. But the looks that they sent through about 20.
Because they have to, if you look at the grant application, they have to show you there's a process. That's why they've sent all that in for you to look at, right? One is to prove that they are who they are. And they have a bank account and they have a governance.
Can you just explain briefly then what they are and what they do? Yeah, that'd be useful. No, I did not.
Go on, Lindsay.
I don't know.
Lindsay would have read it.
I'm not saying anything. I've got something now. If I knew I was going to have to report on it, I would.
If we actually
But
had a rough idea how they help the community.
I will say at the moment, they haven't got a base in Swaffham.
No,
They're using this money, hopefully, to
Got it, John.
provide a base in Swaffham.
To do
Give-
what?
To law
advice.
on law. So homelessness, spiral of depression. I can't remember
Yeah.
the various things. Yeah.
Hang on, I've got John.
Yeah, I read through their application and I think it's a worthy cause that we could at least try it for, it's only a year they're asking for this year. and
Yes, yes.
I'll come back and see how it goes. There've been feedback from it, but they're providing services for people who, you know, for whatever reason, you cannot afford to go to a solicitor or whatever. So I think it's quite a worthy thing to support.
And that's
for the money.
They're funded, they're asking for funding from other groups, yeah.
We've got which I chair, is the Relief in Need charity. And the amount of applications is very poor that we get for that. You know, it's very hard to get people to apply. I don't know whether it's sort of demeaning or something when they apply to these things, but we've tried to get different ways to get people to apply, and we've got money there to give out, but it's struggle. Well,
Give £2 to the community law service.
won't allow us to, not within our remit.
So they haven't currently got a base here.
So there's no guarantee that 500's going to Swaffham?
Okay.
Anyway, I don't think there's any harm in trying for it, but whether we'll get it or not, who knows? What do you think?
No, they're asking us.
That's for money, Paul.
Oh, right.
No one else.
Sorry, I've got it the wrong way around.
There you go, give us money.
We don't know the scales.
Oh, let's get the ball rolling. I propose.
Need to.
that we do
You want it full 2,000 or 500 in the budget?
2,000.
No.
You made that proposal then, John?
To get it going.
Proposal?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is anybody willing to second it? That one isn't moved then. Any other proposals?
500 quid.
Anybody like to second that?
Yeah, I'll say.
Graham. So we've got a proposal on the table for 500, seconded by Graham. Those in favour, please show.
There's no.
You'll know.
You can.
How many for, sorry? How many for? 1, 2,
There's no guarantees.
3, 4, 5, 6.
Those against, please show. I think I'm against it actually, because I think there's other ways of helping people. with
2,
the
so the rest are staying. Yeah.
The only point is, Paul, we got £500 in the budget. They seem a bit, oh, I have to read it, that they seem to be a reasonable proposition. Yeah, you can always give them £2 next year, can't you? Yeah, proof of work.
4 abstain?
No guarantee.
4 abstain, 2 against, and 6 for, so it goes through. So it's
Yeah.
carried, yeah.
Get free. You've got this solicitor anyway. Look out. And citizens.
Good conversations going on. To receive a quote for the service of installation of work to the town hall and the museum heating.
Missed one, Paul.
Yes, where?
Pantomime.
That's
next. It's a pantomime. They can talk about it.
That's the next one.
So we had, we know we've had problems with the heating, so we had Drake's to come in and do a full service and recommendation of works, which you've been sent a quote for.
Yeah. And I'll propose we accept it. Get on with it.
Second.
All those in favour?
Save some money in the long run.
It's needed sorted out, especially up here, because there's still worse than. That's very It's not working either. To discuss and consider holding a pantomime.
Little report from Nicola. She would like to hold the pantomime the 14th of December. We had zero negativity for that event. It would be on a Sunday. This year it would be Rapunzel, and we would like to start advertising it earlier. She's meeting with Barratt Homes tomorrow, who want to fund an event. So she's sent to fund an event.
Propose we go for it.
Yeah, that's good.
Seconded. Good.
Yeah.
David.
I just had a question. What was the attendance last week?
It wasn't as great as we were hoping, but it was the first time, and we think it's like the car show. Once you start, we get going, and we felt like the posters didn't really tell people that it was in Swaffham. People had already booked Kings Lynn and Norwich, so this year that's why we want to get it out there early that it will be in Swaffham. But Graham went. You thought it was great, didn't you?
Yeah, but grandkids, to be fair, I went grandkids. I did on the arm.
They're on his own.
But I tell you what, though, the afternoon one was well attended.
Yeah, the morning
The
wasn't.
morning one
We
was.
did have care homes there, which really enjoyed it. Yeah, so that was.
The morning.
If we're going,
The afternoon was good.
Yeah.
if we're going to get sponsorship for it, I can't see why we would not enjoy it.
Yeah.
No, I'm purely ask for information, Paul, like, you know,
No,
like information on
It's
things.
made a statement.
So we all agree.
Have you-
You go ahead.
Good. Somebody proposed and seconded. We got that, and then all those in favour?
We have it.
Funding for it, yeah.
Oh, that's unanimous.
That's some fun.
Helen, have you decided to work for the Labour government? I asked you a question and you went so far around the houses.
What did you ask me? I can't tell you exactly. I think it wasn't as well as we thought. We did lose a little bit of money. Yeah.
It's absolutely fine. We've said yes.
No.
We're going to get some funding for
I'll
it.
go back on the vote there anyway.
I question the morning.
Sorry, to receive and consider adoption of amendments to town council policies. The first one is standing orders. Helen, I'll hand over to you to explain.
I've sent your standing orders out. It's a yearly review of your standing orders prior to the year end.
And they don't change, do they?
There's bits in them that you can change.
Yeah.
The bold bits you can't, but the
Yeah.
rest you can amend.
So what I'm saying is if I print that off, that will be like a Bible for the next year.
Yes.
Right, print it off then.
Stuart.
Yeah, the standing order is mayor, deputy to mayor one.
Mm-hmm.
Can I propose an alteration?
You can propose what you like.
Well, I'm asking, I want to know, I want to get at the right point. Sorry.
That is a point that you can change. That is not in bold. That is not a model standing order.
I can change it. My proposal would be that at the minute, it says deputy goes directly to mayor at the May meeting.
Yeah.
I'd like to put in that at the April meeting, under the line, we have a council vote to decide if we all agree with said mayor, deputy mayor going in.
Yeah, but then you'd be breaking that policy, so you'd have to change that
Yeah,
policy.
that's what he's-
You'd have to change that
We
policy
normally
first.
do in April. We put on the April agenda for deputy mayors to put their names forward with a statement of why they'd want to be deputy mayor. But then in the May meeting, you then vote for your deputy. But as it is, it does say that the deputy stands up to, takes a step up to mayor.
I think Stuart's point is that the booth should be elected in the May meeting.
Yes,
That's a change to standing order.
That's, you'd have to change that policy.
that's what we're.
That's
what we're
That's what
discussing.
you're proposing. Yep.
If I'm reading correctly, I think that's what Stuart's.
Thank you. Wait, it is that.
You see, if you go back to what Jen said a little while ago about this election business, that just seems odd that we elect Bob, but then you seamlessly shift from deputy to mayor without a vote. No,
It is just a civic role. Yes, you are a chairman, and you have that extra vote as you chair a meeting. But it is just a civic role. It doesn't give you any other extra powers as a councillor apart from that vote if needed.
No, I'm not saying that it does.
No, I'm just,
It's just in this present climate, with all this hoo-ha about the election we just had, that whether that then would give the wrong signal to people that the deputy shifts seamlessly to the mayor. I think that's Stuart's point.
So you're saying you want to change that statement
That
within the
word.
policy.
Yes.
So can you let Helen know what you want to change, then we'll put it to a vote.
The end of the April meeting, or during the April meeting, or the end, we could have it under the line if so required, or above the line, doesn't matter.
no, your votes, your vote is in May. It's a closed vote, but it's above the line because it's an open vote, but it's a closed vote. So you will put your people forward and then you will decide as a closed vote. But that will be done. That's always done at the annual meeting, is where you elect your chair
So,
and deputy. You don't have to have a deputy. You have to have a chair. You do not have to have a deputy.
say for argument's sake, Lindsay goes directly in May to Paul.
No, so you can change, you can't change it to have it under the line in April. You can change your standing order to say in May, we will elect a mayor and a deputy mayor.
Fine.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
That's what you mean, not in April, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not below the line.
Wendy,
Well, I'm just wondering why we need to change it when it's worked so well. And somebody who's been a deputy has worked hard all that year as previous deputies and gone forward. So what's wrong with how it is? It's always worked well. And I think that's disrespectful to a deputy who's worked hard to then take that away from them. And we had this earlier before Paul was elected. So
Can I also say that the deputy mayor is elected?
yeah,
With the understanding that they will then go on to become the mayor. So that's what we always do. So there is an election.
I've got nothing against us looking at the whole way we do it. But in my opinion, it's too late in this current year to change the policy. It would seem unseemly unfair to the deputy to be cast aside at this late hour, to be honest, when you trained all year to do the job. I'm sorry, but
A year in apprenticeship.
Graham and Stuart, we've asked.
Yeah, look, to take your point, but to take the bigger point of elections in inverted commas, right? I don't think that it would be necessarily correct to do it now to knock Lindsay on the head. That I don't think that's your point, is it, Stuart, to knock her on the head.
I think it
You
should.
could change, but
No.
so you could, in your May meeting,
Sorry.
you could then
Yeah.
review that area.
But you have to actually do these things at some point. You can't just say, well, let's not do it this month, we'll do it next month, or we'll do it the month after. There comes a point when people have got to make their minds up whether they want to do something or not do it. And I think I'm paraphrasing Stuart. I think his point is now he wants to make a decision, didn't he?
So I've got Stuart again. Do you want to say anything else, or is it? Then I've got
Sorry, to answer questions. The idea is that during the year, let's say a deputy, during that year, the council get to know that person more than if they sit in any of the other seats. So anything that comes out during that year as deputy, we get the chance to say, hold up, I don't think we want you to be our mayor. This is the point.
well, I disagree with that. You elected them, so
You don't know what they're like.
I didn't actually let them, so that's all right. Sorry.
Sorry, just before you come in, John, it's a learning curve as well. Lindsay's been following me and doing a lot of things, and she's done some things where I couldn't do it. You know, it is a learning curve to the process as well with the deputy mayor. So John, I've got John next, then Jill. Right.
David.
First of all, subject to this year, the election of the deputy mayor to the mayor being honoured, and I think that must be followed through. What I propose is to scrap the whole lot of those sub clauses under 5E. I think refer it back to a normal sort of elect the chair and the chairman. From then on, subject, as I say, to honouring the election that Lindsay went through, because that was expected.
You review that paragraph in your May after
just scrap the whole lot, I would.
Anybody like to add? Then I'll cast for some
David
proposals.
was next.
David, next.
If there is a change to be made, you just make it after the main election and say from now on, this is going to be in place.
Yeah, well, we change the policy, so then it becomes the policy, doesn't it? Jill?
Yes, I tend to agree with that. I do think at the moment it's becoming, a bit uncomfortable and a bit personal, actually. So do you think we could have this, a really good discussion with us councillors, just us councillors? So we can thrash it out rather than, going round and round the houses.
So the agenda.
No, you have to have the decision in public, I'm afraid, Jill.
Yes, you must do, Jill. You can't let these things behind closed doors.
Right. Unless anybody else got anything to say, I think John made a half do it. Go on, just
Sorry,
last
yes,
side.
to answer Lindsay's question. I was sat very recently, a lot of councillors didn't manage to make it, a meeting regarding purchasing flags. You was there, Paul, weren't you? You was chairing the meeting. Do you remember?
Probably, yeah.
Prescribed, you twice told me about a prescribed list of flags during that meeting. Yeah. We went off piste a little bit by saying Christmas flags, which I'd already purchased for the town, and we had them and we agreed we need them again. I then suggested a gay pride flag, which I think, to my mind, is a very inclusive council flag. Yes. It's also good.
This has got to do with this.
No.
I'll get round to that in a second, Paul. And then our future mayor, who was sat over there at the time, and two of the office staff even noticed it, her mannerism where she left her seat nearly touched the roof because she is homophobic, openly homophobic. Is that correct? So why?
I think
did you
you've
do
been
that?
personal this.
Yes.
I've got knocked this on the head because you've been personal.
Yeah.
Personal, it's the truth.
Right, I'm going to call for anybody would like to make a proposal. John, did you?
Yeah, I propose that subject to the mayoral election this year being honoured, where Lindsay succeeds in to the mayor's role, that we scrap all the sub clauses in 5E. So
could we just say
in other
review?
words, scrap all those clauses from after when Lindsay becomes mayor.
Why don't we agree standing orders, but para 5E2 will be reviewed and decided in May following this stage.
I think review's better word, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
That's fine.
Yeah, no.
I'll agree.
Have you got a seconder, John? There's a second. Any other counter or other amendments to the proposal? Very quiet. Those in favour of the proposal, please show.
This is, sorry, can you repeat it?
What? So
Just said it.
So standing orders are approved, subject to paragraph 5E2, which will be viewed in the May meeting. Because if you agree these standing orders as they are, then that's it. You can't go back on it for 6 months unless we get two councillors to put it in. But if I can put in there that paragraph 5E or whatever it is, to be reviewed in May to put in and decided and reviewed and decided.
Is that, sorry,
Okay.
is that in the new year after the May?
After the election.
Yeah.
After the annual meeting following the election.
Yeah, I'm happy.
Okay, I'm happy with that.
There's a second, John.
I
Can I have-
propose it. I propose something
Yeah,
else.
let's second it. Can I have a show of hands, those who agree with it, please?
To review it. To review it.
Review it.
Right.
It stays the same, but we review it again in May.
Which is what David said, after you review.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Review it in May.
Yeah.
So I think it's 3, I think 6.
David?
So, I think those against, two against, those abstaining. Bob, Okay. Right, you get going to the second one, is a communications policy.
So there were some changes in yellow this, and it was basically removing the word Twitter and changing it to X.
Oh, there's something in there.
Yeah.
Is it?
Your email was different. That's gone from Gmail to the swaffhamtowncouncil.gov.uk domain name. Oh, yeah. And the removal of a couple of Instagram accounts that aren't used anymore.
Ah, social media, under social media, headed. This is X, formerly Twitter. You put Swaffham Town Council currently has 6. You're saying you're gonna knock out those.
Yeah, we have.
So that won't be policy. We won't currently have 6, will we? When it's the policy. You see what I mean?
Swaffham Clerk, Swaffham Council, Neighbourhood Plan, Market Superintendent, Vince as.
Yeah, but you've got 6 there. But there won't be 6 if we agree to. So what you were saying in the first slide, we currently got 6. We have currently got 6, but you're knocking all those out.
No,
So-
they are there. They've just come in as yellow. So we still have, I think we actually don't have Twitter anymore, only on 2 accounts. So yeah, probably change that to. So we have a clerk in the council, so it would be 2.
You see what I mean?
Yeah, 2, yeah. Yeah.
Happy with
We
that?
Probably had the highlight of the 6 to yellow as
Year
well.
6 should
Yeah.
be.
Everybody happy with that amendment?
Change.
Yeah.
Anything else that needs? Seven?
No.
Do you all like to accept the agree the?
Yeah.
Policy?
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody happy? Mayor and deputy guidance.
There was no changes, no obvious changes to that unless you wanted to make your own
You
change.
will have to change it.
Yeah, we'll have to change it then. So shall we defer that until the May meeting?
Defer it until we consider the other bit.
Everybody happy with that? We're getting there, we're getting there. To receive the receipts for February 24. There's 24 on there, but it should be 25. I
Should be
think.
25, yes, that's spotted.
To receive the receipts for February 2025. Everybody had a look at them, everybody happy with them?
Yeah, can we have that on the screen? Because probably Bob doesn't see how that works.
He has had them.
Has he had
Yeah,
it?
he
Yeah.
had the whole meeting paper.
This is all the payments and costs we've had throughout the February
That's fine.
period. No, I was just trying to explain it. Thanks. Everybody happy?
Yeah.
All agree with them?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, okay. We'll go on to approve the payments of accounts for March 25. As far as it is anyway. Still got a bit to go. Everybody happy? Yeah. Getting through his feed. To approve the bank recollection, but I can't say. Up to the date of the agenda.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everybody happy?
Very helpful.
Very happy with that.
It's gone down since last time I looked at it.
Right. To agree the date of the next full council meeting, which is Wednesday, the 9th of April, 6:30. That's the end, and we haven't got anything below the line tonight, so have a nice early night. Yeah, we've closed it, Billy.